I'm back at our normal time, 10 a.m. Pacific. I hope you all are doing well and that you had a great weekend. I got back from my trip and just jumped out of the shower and ran here to go live and make sure I'm on time. I hope you guys are all doing well. Yes, had a great trip. And hey, how's it going? There's somebody in the chat. And yeah, so what are we going to talk about today? How are you? Hey, try DVRS. Thanks. Good to see you, my man. Hey. So making it back. Got here, jumped in the shower, and going online. Today I want to talk about something that a friend of mine mentioned to me recently, where he said, I like how you set up your life. He's like, there's so many people, adults, that I'm responsible for, and you're not really responsible for anyone but yourself. And I was like, yeah, I did that on purpose because when I was growing up, I had to be responsible for people a lot. I had to be responsible for my younger siblings. I had to be responsible for other people's kids. And there was something I really understood so the framework, right? The foundation, that framework that I talk about, right? Understanding your primary rights and your responsibilities. But those responsibilities are about you and about your impact on the world. They're not about being responsible for somebody else. So there's a great way to think about it that really helps me. And this helps me even when I think about my clients or coaching clients or all kinds of things. There was a time where I'm sure if you have people and you're just like, well, I don't want to have to, I was feeling some resistance to doing coaching even because I felt like I had to be the one getting them the results, right? But that's not true. I'm responsible to, not for. That's the secret. So when I realized that, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I'm responsible to act with integrity. I'm responsible to fulfill my word. I'm responsible to make sure that I'm doing all of those things, that I'm not violating other people, right? I'm responsible for myself. I'm responsible for my actions in the world, for my emotions, but I'm not responsible for another adult. Each person is responsible for themselves. That includes your spouse, okay? And that includes your children that are grown up. That includes everyone. You are not responsible for other adults. You are responsible, obviously, for your children when they are young and they are underage and you're their sole support care. But once they've grown up, once they're, out of the age of majority, you are no longer responsible for them. You are responsible to them. And they have to step up and take responsibility for themselves. And hopefully, to me, being a good parent is teaching your kids how to take responsibility for themselves by having them do it throughout that whole process, not just saying, oh, okay, I've taken care of you this whole entire time. I've never taught you how to do anything for yourself. Now I'm just going to dump you out there, right? That's not good parenting. So that's the way I see it. Because why is it so important we understand this distinction, responsible to versus responsible for? When we understand it, it lifts just a huge weight off of our back, at least off of my back, right? When I realize all I'm responsible to do is to show up, to teach what I need to teach, to talk to my clients, to explain to them, these are the risks, these are the results. I'm responsible to do my job. I'm responsible to create the contract, right? But they are the ones that are responsible to go use that contract. They're responsible to take action based on, the information that they have. That's their responsibility. It's not my responsibility, right? I'm responsible to do my piece and to do it well. But after that, that's their responsibility. See? And so when I realize that, I can just let go. I can let go of all the stress of trying to carry responsibility for someone else who is an adult, whether it's a client or a sibling or anybody else. Hey, Luxar. Hey, Bruna. Hey, good to see you guys. So that is just, it's such a release. I mean, I want you to think about it in your mind right now. Who are you taking responsibility for? Good evening. Who are you taking responsibility for? And let it go. Let it go. Talk to them if you have to. Tell them, look, you are responsible for you. I am responsible to act with integrity. I'm responsible to keep my word. I'm responsible to do the things that I need to do. But I'm not responsible for your emotions. I'm not responsible for your results. I'm not responsible for everything that you may want to put responsibility on me for, right? I'm not responsible for your happiness. You see? Those are all the things that in relationships we try to put on the other people. And that is actually a violation of boundaries. So good to see you too. Says after a very long time to see you live. I know it's been a few days, and it's probably going to happen again soon. So I'll warn you, right? I'll tell you about it tomorrow. But it's so good to see you live too. So this is just something I want you to get that picture in your mind. It makes it so clear to me when I say responsible for versus responsible to. I'm responsible to. I'm not responsible for someone else. I'm responsible for the impact of my own actions. I'm responsible for my results. I'm responsible for what my work does in the world. But I'm not responsible for somebody else's results, for someone else's emotions. I'm not responsible for their issues, for what they're doing, right? I can't take responsibility for their emotions. I'm only responsible for my own emotions. And I can't blame my emotions on them either. See, I can't be like, well, you did this thing to me and now I'm all hurt and damaged and I'm so, upset, right? I mean, no, that's my emotions. I take responsibility for that, okay? So that is, it's a great relief. It's a great release when we really get that. And if I see myself doing that, if I see myself taking on other people's stuff, taking on responsibility for other people, then I have to stop myself. I have to put that back. I got to say, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm not responsible for them. I'm just responsible to do my job well. That's all I'm responsible for. That's all I can be responsible for. And it actually, when I really got this, I realized that it was actually a violation of their boundaries if I took responsibility for them. I was violating their boundaries. Why? Because if I took responsibility for their results, let's say they were a client, right? Let's say it's a coaching client, right? I really want them, or a sibling or whatever, I really want them to do well. I want them to be happy. I want them to be successful. Okay. Now, if I take on that feeling of being responsible for them, what's kind of likely that I'm going to do? I'm probably going to push them. I'm going to pressure them. I'm going to find ways to try to manipulate them into doing what's good for them, what they need to do, right? And that is a violation of their boundaries. That's a violation of them. I'm getting up in their business, see? Instead of just being responsible to say, this is what I've learned. This is how I did it. This is what worked for me. This is my advice. This is what I think, right? But if I try to start pressuring them to do it because I know it's good and I know it's good for them or whatever that is, then I'm violating their boundaries. And that's much more likely to happen if I think, or if I am taking on responsibility for them, which is not my responsibility and not my business. See? Got it? Okay, so let's remember we are only responsible to, we are not responsible for. We are responsible to other people to do the right thing. We're not responsible for them, for their results. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope that it helps make your life and day easier and more fun all around, and makes other people's lives that you live with easier too. So anyway, it's so good to see you guys. I am sorry I was gone for a few days. I mean, I was showing up live, just so you know. I show up live every day, and but I don't always show up on Restream if I don't have my setup and I don't have a way to do it. On those days, if I'm traveling, if I'm away from my computer, then sometimes I just show up live on Instagram. and I don't make it onto YouTube and Facebook and all those things as well. So just so you know, that's how I do it. I still keep my commitment. I still show up live somewhere. And we're going to see what happens in the next 10 days, because I'm going to be traveling and I'm going to be in the jungle, and it's probably not going to have reception. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'll do my best. I'll probably just be recording. If I can't, for some reason, get any reception to go live, then I'll just make sure to record videos each day to post. But that's my plan. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Sunday fun day. Go do something fun. All right.